Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. And we do it live every weekday starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at auntiederek.com. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Wednesday, August 12th. So with me on the mic, I have my fabulous co-host. We're going to start with my gorgeous Moon. Good morning, gorgeous.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Next, we have my icy chili. Hello, my love.
Hello there.
Hello there. And next we have my incomparable Libra Queen. Hey, cutie.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, hey. And shout out to the listeners who are always holding it down in the chat as well. Well, y'all, I say it all the time. We got us some good tea to sip, so let's go ahead and jump right in.
Tea time.
Yes. Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is Tiffany Haddish, honey. We've been talking about her for quite some time. And like that Georgia court was kind of doing her dirty because she was like, listen, I'm ready to get it popping. Y'all, it's been 4 years. Well, you all should see we have an update by way of TMZ, and it says Tiffany Haddish pleads guilty to Georgia DUI. So let's get into it. So Tiffany Haddish has pled guilty to her nearly 5-year-old DUI arrest in Georgia, though she won't have to serve any jail time in the case. The actress appeared in court virtually on Tuesday, where she entered her guilty plea to DUI driving less safe, avoiding a trial in the case. According to Fox 5, the local Atlanta affiliate, Tiffany is not headed back to jail, but she will be on probation for 1 year. Tiffany's driver's license in the state has been suspended and she must stay away from drugs and alcohol. She will be subject to testing and has to complete a DUI course as well. The comedian's team recently tried to get the case tossed out completely, claiming multiple delays in it had affected her career and personal life. A judge denied the petition. TMZ broke the story way back in the day. Tiffany was arrested for DUI back in January 2022 after she allegedly fell asleep behind the wheel. The following year, Tiffany was arrested and charged with DUI in Beverly Hills, though she pled to a reckless driving charge in the case just months later. We've reached out to Tiffany. So far, no word back. I guess until now, because they do have an update, and the update truly looks like the same thing what we just read, but the update says sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Tiffany Haddish pled guilty to DUI as part of a plea deal and was sentenced to 12 months probation. We're told she must periodically check in by phone, though probation officials will review that requirement after 6 months. She also has to complete a DUI course and 40 hours of community service, stay away from drugs and alcohol, accept medication prescribed to her, and submit to testing. Her driving privileges have also been suspended in Georgia. Yeah. So there you have it. Finally an end to that legal thing she was going through, and good for her, I guess. And now she got 40 hours of community service, got to take a course. You know, that's that on that. And what we got next? Oh, girl, Nicki Minaj and her husband, honey. Girl, this story here. So y'all know her husband was convicted from for a rape back in the 90s. Had to do time for that as well. And that the victim, Jennifer Huff, she's been harassed by him, the Barbs, allegedly. Well, you all should see I've just shared here by way of this all hip hop exclusive. Let me share it here. And it says Nicki Minaj's hubby, Kenny Pez, and accuser tell judge settlement is pointless. So they basically be trying to get her to settle some shit. She's like, no. No. Well, Kenneth Petty better get comfortable in a Brooklyn courtroom because nobody is settling Jennifer Huff's $20 million case anytime soon. Magistrate Judge James R. Cho held the status conference on August 11th in the Eastern District of New York, certified discovery complete, and set new deadlines in the 5 year fight. The judge found that the parties do not believe settlement discussions would be productive at this time. Both sides told Cho they have wrapped up everything in discovery, and he locked that finding into a record. That means the evidence gathering phase of the case is finally closed after years of depositions and disputes. Cho also gave Huff until August 12th, today, to confirm in writing her withdrawal as an expert witness. The withdrawal comes with prejudice, so Huff cannot bring that expert back into the case later on. Petty was convicted in 1995 of first degree attempted rape over a September 1994 incident in Queens involving Huff. He served roughly 4 years in prison and has carried sex offender status ever since his release. Huff sued Petty and Nicki Minaj in 2021, alleging harassment, witness intimidation, and emotional distress. She says the couple pressured her to recant so Petty could exit the sex offender registry. Nicki Minaj was dismissed from the suit in 2022, leaving Petty as the only remaining defendant in the matter. Huff's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, has spent years accusing Petty of stonewalling the discovery process that just wrapped up. Blackburn told the court that Petty's refusal to produce tax returns and financial records violated a direct order, according to All Hip Hop's reporting on the sanctions push. Petty has denied Huff's allegations throughout the case and has fought to keep his finances out of it. The parties must submit a joint pretrial order by October 12th, another standard step on the road towards trial. Mm-mm. Girl, get you another attorney and fast. If you want some validity in your case, girl, if you know what I know about Mr. Blackburn, you will get you another attorney if you can afford it. But girl, outlook to get you, do they? I don't think they got court appointed lawyers at this case. I don't know. But girl, Tyrone. All right, y'all. Let's get into this tea, honey. The Lakers, honey. Lakers fans, sweeties, I'm so sorry. But you all should see I've just shared here by way of TMZ, Bob Iger, Josh Kushner buying Lakers for $12.5 billion. Oh, girl, let's get into it. Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are buying the Los Angeles Lakers, and the price tag is jaw dropping. Disney's 75-year-old longtime boss and the billionaire Thrive Capital founder are locking down the purple and gold for a record-shattering $12 billion, according to multiple records. It's the highest price ever paid for an American sports franchise by far. Kushner and Iger had been heavily involved in attempting to bring an NBA franchise to Las Vegas, but in reversal, inked the deal to acquire the Lake Show. As lifelong NBA fans, we are deeply honored for the opportunity to become stewards of the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most iconic sports franchises in the world, Iger and Kushner said in a statement to ESPN. We have immense respect for the leadership and vision of Jerry and Jeannie Buss. Our long-term commitment is to build on that foundation, compete at the highest level, and serve this extraordinary team, its fans, and the city of Los Angeles. Kushner, who is married to supermodel Carly Kloss, is also the younger brother of President Donald Trump's son-in-law. The Lakers just sold last year to Mark Walter for approximately $10 billion, and he said it was one of the great honors of his life. Mm. And we have something. We have a comment in the chat saying Brokey and the rapey. Ooh. Allegedly. But girl, and there are some other alleged information that's not that I didn't read this anywhere, but I heard it, in speaking that there was who was it? The former owner, what was his name? Mark Walter is being investigated by who? SCC or something like that. So that's why they rushed to sell this possibly, allegedly. Y'all know I don't know sports ball, so I don't know. But that's what the word on the curb is, honey. I'm not the news, I just read it. So but yeah, based off of what I've been seeing and based off of what I've been hearing, the Lakers fans are not well, the white ones are happy, but everybody else is not happy about this. So that is that on that. Well, in some more sports ball news, Cheryl Miller, who I happen to be a big fan of, not because of her basketball, just because of that one episode that she was on Living Single. I love her because of that. Yes, I do. But she had some things to say about the trans debate in the WNBA. And you should see I've just shared here by way of TMZ. Hoops legend Cheryl Miller blasts Inez Cantor, Royce White over WNBA declarations. So this clip that we're about to watch is about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So just a little under 3 minutes. So let me share my screen and we can watch this together. And I have to say, she looks good, honey. She looks good. But let's see.
Number one, they are stirring the pot. Number two, if you want to stir anything, stir your game up. If you want to do any stirring, stir your game up. All right. It's just, more people trying to hijack the narrative for the WNBA players. And Sue Bird and myself and Maria Taylor, we said the other night that it's our story. We'll tell it. We'll make the adjustments where we need to make the adjustments. But right now, I'm not giving them, those two in particular, a whole lot of thought because it's outsiders looking to hijack our narrative.
Is that the wrong energy? I mean, obviously,
It's
some
horrible.
people, yeah.
It's horrible energy. And again, you know what? I would have loved to seen these two sitting courtside, watching the game 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago. But now all of a sudden, y'all got collective think tank.
Yeah,
Man, shut that noise up.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, dude put on a wig trying to, like, go viral or something.
You know what? Whatever the case may be, all I'm focused on for real, 100%, is 13 games remaining in the dub. Playoffs are around the corner. You got spots 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 battling to get home court position.
Yeah.
That's what my focus is about.
When do you think that the bodies, the governing bodies, like in charge of the situation, will have some real, like, maybe off season? You wait till what do you think that's?
You know what? I would definitely let cooler heads prevail right now. And look, we want to protect everyone.
Sure.
General. We want to protect everyone.
Yeah.
And we don't want to exclude anyone. But I just think we all have to sit down in the off season and collectively get our heads and minds around this issue. Obviously, it's a hotbed.
This Dejanay Carrington and Sophie Cunningham fiasco. Did you see this?
It's not a fiasco. It was a hard foul. She was ejected for it.
Yeah.
She wasn't suspended the next game, so play on.
And that's a whole nother can of worms.
But this is good things. You know why? Because it's all eyes on the dub. So you got to take the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly. You know what? But it's progress. People are talking. People are talking about us.
People are talking. Juju Watkins.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you think she should just jump right into the draft or finish out? What do you think?
Juju is a smart young lady who's going to do the best by herself and her family, and what feels good for her at the right time. I just want to see her back in action. I think the entire country wants to see her back in action and see what type of player that we know that she will display this season.
Well, listen, I mean, to see you, what an honor.
Oh, come on now.
Terrible interviewer.
he was, but he was better than what we've been seeing. I tell you that. At least we could tell this person is a sports fan and he watches basketball at least. But yeah, that woman is 62 years old, y'all, looking like she in her 40s. Cheryl, you better motherfucking work, ma'am. She looks good. And yeah, she said, listen, they trying to hijack, these discussions and shit. We in here, we in the fields, we'll worry about what we want to worry about. We'll make changes where we need to. Ain't about it. She was like, I would have loved to have seen y'all, what she say, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 minutes ago. But no, y'all asses weren't even at the games making all that fucking noise. So be quiet. Shut all that noise up. Shout out to Cheryl, because yes, she's absolutely right to say that. Well, that is that on that. Other sports ball news, honey. So somebody from ESPN, an ESPN personality, honey. So he was involved in a near fatal car crash and lost his arm. But you all should see where it says here by way of People, ESPN personality Matt Miller charged for his near fatal car crash in which he lost an arm. Now I know People is a little funny because I think with the playback, people start to see a dark screen rather than the thumbnail. So I'm just going to share my screen while I read this article. So let me do that here. So this starts. ESPN NFL draft analyst Matt Miller has been charged with a misdemeanor in connection with a car crash in which he was seriously injured and lost his left arm. Authorities in Missouri charged Miller, who's 43, with failing to drive on the right half of the roadway, which resulted in the June 17 accident in Jasper County, according to court documents filed on Monday, August 10th. Miller's 2023 Ford Bronco crossed the center line and struck a semi-tractor trailer, an accident report found. The Joplin, Missouri native was ejected from his SUV and suffered significant injuries, including several fractures and broken ribs, the broadcaster later shared on Twitter. Miller was airlifted to a nearby hospital where he underwent multiple surgeries and had his left arm amputated. A hearing for Miller's misdemeanor charge is scheduled for Monday, September 21st in Jasper County Circuit Court. In the wake of Miller's accident, the Missouri Attorney General's office launched an investigation on July 2nd into allegations that the ESPN analyst owed numerous individuals payments for fantasy football leagues which he operated. A total of 26 complaints have been filed against the former Bleacher Report writer. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway confirmed, according to USA Today. It does look like it's going to be a lengthy investigation because there were a lot of transactions, Hanaway said. The allegations came to light after Miller's sister in law launched a GoFundMe on his behalf. Donations to the fundraiser, which has raised more than $50,000, were paused on July 3rd after the investigation came to light, USA Today reported. Miller told The Athletic in July that he could not speak freely about the allegations due to the ongoing investigation. Because this is an active investigation, I've been told by legal counsel to limit my response, Miller told the outlet. However, I've tried reaching out to all the winners from the last season to make sure they've been paid. Miller joined ESPN in 2021 as an NFL draft contributor and became a year round analyst the following year. The broadcaster made his on air debut in 2023 at the NFL draft in Kansas City, according to his ESPN bio. Mm-mm. Scamming, honey. Well, all my scamming ass niggas that, but girl, you done lost your arm, and then now you being sued for misdemeanor for driving stupid. Oh my lord! I bet was he drunk? I don't know. That's crazy. Well, that is that on that. Um, let's talk about Cardi B and how a photographer was trying to get some footage and but ended up trespassing and got his ass detained. Stupid, stupid. This he's so stupid. I'm sorry, stupid. But you all should see I've just shared here by way of hot new hip hop. Photographer detained during Cardi B music video shoot in New York City. So let's get into it, child. Cardi B is looking to drop a new music video, although there are some people who are allegedly disturbing her ability to do so. According to TMZ, a photographer near the set of her music video shoot in New York City was detained on Monday. A 70-year-old photographer by the name of Steven Sands was in Sunset Park, Brooklyn to get a glimpse of the famous artist. Sands allegedly refused to comply with instructions. For instance, he went past the police barriers, all while ignoring Cardi's security guard. This subsequently led to a criminal court summons for disorderly conduct. The NYPD put Sands in handcuffs and they escorted him away from the situation. It should be noted that this was not an arrest, just a detainment, and Sands was eventually let go. Sands tells a different story of events, not really, but while speaking to TMZ, he made the claim that Cardi's team put him behind large equipment. This made sure he could not get a clear shot. The photographer did try to get into an open area, only to be told by security that Cardi wouldn't want that. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't care what Cardi wants, Sands replied. It's a reply that ultimately cost the man his access and an escalation from security at the NYPD. Let this be a lesson to others who try to attempt similar stunts. Yep. All hip hop is right to say that. Let that be a lesson. Do not what you mean I don't care what Cardi wants. You don't care what the artist wants in her shoot that's being paid for by her and her team. Yeah, you better get the fuck on. Look, we have a comment in the chat called Cassidy. Baby, I knew that man was white. Well, one, when they detained him and let his ass go. One, because he was literally trespassing and pretty much said, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm still going to trespass so I can get this shot." No, it don't work like that, Steven Farkle. Well, now hopefully you learned your lesson because I feel like next time they won't let your ass go after being detained. Well, then again, they might because you're white, allegedly. Well, that is that on that. Missy Dizzy. Hey, girl. Hey, Missy Dizzy. I got some tea, but we got two stories about Messy Dizzy today. And shout out to Chili for one of them. But the first story that we're going to talk about with Ha. Now this is terrifying. I'm not going to tell y'all no lie. I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody. Now, even though she's messy, I still, am concerned for her safety. She definitely needs her safety. But you all should see where it says here by way of All Hip Hop. Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez threatened with death outside Rock Nation headquarters in terrifying confrontation. Let me move my bang and read this again. Girl, what? Well, let's get into it. Desiree Perez found herself in the crosshairs of a disturbing campaign that started quietly in May and escalated into a direct confrontation outside her workplace. The Rock Nation CEO, who co founded the Powerhouse Agency alongside Jay Z, became the target of a homeless man's violent obsession that manifested through social media threats, music lyrics, and face to face intimidation. Law enforcement sources confirmed the menace showed up at the company's West 26th Street headquarters in Chelsea around 7:30 p.m. on Monday, where he made his intentions crystal clear. You are going to die, he seized at Perez, according to the New York Post. The threats did not stop there. What makes this case particularly unsettling is the pattern of escalation that authorities have documented since spring. The suspect, tentatively identified as a homeless individual with a known presence throughout Manhattan and the Bronx, had been harassing Perez through multiple channels for months before the physical confrontation occurred. Social media became his platform for lyric laced death threats targeting not just Perez, but the entire Rock Nation organization. The specificity of his fixation suggests this wasn't random street violence, but a calculated campaign of intimidation. Police haven't made an arrest yet, leaving questions about what's preventing them from taking action. Perez's role at Rock Nation extends far beyond typical executive responsibilities. She has been instrumental in orchestrating the label's collaboration with the NFL since 2019, overseeing halftime show coordination that reaches millions of viewers annually. Her production credits include work with Alicia Keys, Megan Thee Stallion, and Lil Uzi Vert, and she made history as the first executive producer to win an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special Live. Rock Nation's leadership has built one of hip hop's most influential institutions, yet even that power and resources can't shield employees from street level threats. The NYPD has not released details about whether additional protective measures have been implemented at the Chelsea office. Well, they better be. They better be. Because no, no. If this man was first of all, right? Because what I'm seeing here is a lack of security. I'm sorry. What you mean to tell me there's documents of this man harassing online, then he was finally able to approach you at your job? Girl, you better use them connections and you better take them connections off your daughter, allegedly, and use them for that to protect yourself and your safety. Girl, mm-mm. But like I said, before I started reading the story, her safety is still important. Nobody deserves, especially like that's some scary ass shit. What do you mean? You're going to die, bitch?
Yeah, that I wouldn't wish that on anybody either. That's crazy.
Bitch, do I need to call my cousins? Bitch, huh? Girl.
I mean, did she
Mm-mm.
not take that seriously? Um, to have security around her?
I would. Like what? And I don't have the connections Messy Desi has, honey. And no, ma'am, no, ma'am. But this because it does baffle me, right? Because this was clearly a death threat, and they have documented evidence of that. They have a documented pattern, but there have been no arrests made. So that tells me that maybe this is just a PR stunt. You think possibly, allegedly. The reason why I may think because baby, there has been new information that has come out on that, and baby, y'all, honey, it's not looking good for Messy Des, y'all. It's not. Let's get into it. So, shout out to Document Teens who have gave us an update on this, and this starts here. You all should see it here. I'm sharing from my Twitter page. There's court update. Demore Hadley is firing back at Desiree Perez's attempt to have her federal lawsuit dismissed with prejudice for alleged fraud upon the court, arguing that newly obtained records from Apple do not prove she lied under oath about deleting her iCloud account. Instead, Hadley claims Perez subpoenaed the wrong accounts. So, in a newly filed 19-page opposition, Hadley argues that Perez's entire motion is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of her deposition testimony and what Apple actually produced. Perez previously asked the court to dismiss Hadley's lawsuit based on newly obtained Apple records, arguing those records prove Hadley's story about deleting her old iCloud account was never true. Hadley now says that conclusion is flat out wrong. According to Hadley, she repeatedly testified that the primary iCloud account she deleted after leaving Life Skills on April 9th, 2024, was associated with the Apple ID DMLope13 at bu.edu. Hadley says she testified that DeMoreLopez27 at gmail.com was one of several email addresses associated with the primary account and that she had changed email addresses associated with her iCloud over the years. But according to the opposition, Perez's subpoenas to Apple never specifically identified or requested records for DMLope13 at bu.edu. Instead, Perez identified two different accounts, DeMoreLopez27 at gmail.com and DeMorePerez at gmail.com. Hadley argues this distinction completely undermines Perez's fraud theory because Apple was never specifically asked about the account Hadley testified she deleted. And Hadley takes the argument one step further. According to the filing, Apple's custodian stated that if an Apple account had been deleted or closed by its owner, Apple would no longer be able to provide subscriber records for that account because the associated account details and data would be permanently deleted from Apple's servers. Apple produced no records for DMLope13 at bu.edu. Harley argues that under Perez's own interpretation of Apple's declaration, the absence of records for that account actually corroborates Hadley's testimony that she deleted it. Hadley also pushes back against Perez's claim that she testified she created an entirely new iCloud account after leaving Life Skills in April 2024. She says she never testified to creating a new Apple ID. Instead, Hadley points to her deposition testimony where she says she changed her iCloud and switched to a different account. Hadley argues there is a major difference between creating a brand new Apple account and simply signing in to a different account that already existed. That distinction matters because Apple records show the account Hadley currently uses was originally created in November 2020. Perez cited that 2020 creation date as evidence, allegedly contradicting Hadley's story. Hadley says it does no such thing because she never claimed the replacement account itself was created in 2024. The opposition also addresses the older DeMoreLopez27 at gmail.com account, which Apple records reportedly show has existed since 2010, with iCloud creation dating back to 2012. Hadley argues she never claimed she deleted every Apple account she ever owned. In fact, she points out that she voluntarily testified that she had several iCloud accounts over the years, possibly 4 or 5, and could not remember all of them. Bitch, but there's more. Hadley argues Apple records also support her testimony that after April 2024, she stopped storing information in iCloud. According to the filing, Apple records for her current account show there's no iCloud backup, no messages in the iCloud, no mail, no voice memos, no Safari browsing history. Hadley says this directly corroborates her testimony that Apple helped her turn off backups, that there was essentially nothing stored in the replacement iCloud account. The opposition also challenges Perez's claim that Hadley's testimony prevented her from obtaining potentially thousands of text messages and other evidence from iCloud. Hadley points out that Apple records messages in iCloud, no, for both accounts Apple produced records for. She further argues Perez's subpoena requested subscriber information, not the actual contents of photographs, messages, notes, recordings, or backups. Hadley is even offering to go further. According to the filing, she does not oppose Apple producing content level records for the two accounts. Apple identified and says she is prepared to execute a consent or authorization allowing Apple to produce that information, subject to appropriate confidentiality protections. Hadley argues someone's attempting to perpetrate a fraud on the court would not voluntarily offer to open those accounts to further examination. She also argues that even if Perez could establish inconsistencies in Hadley's recollection about her iCloud accounts, those inconsistencies would amount to potential impeachment material for the trial, not the type of extraordinary misconduct required to establish fraud upon the court. Hadley says dismissal with prejudice is an extreme sanction reversed for the most serious misconduct and argues Perez has failed to provide clear and convincing evidence of any deliberate scheme to deceive the court. And now Hadley wants Perez to pay. Hadley is asking a court to deny Perez's motion to dismiss, deny Perez's request for attorney fees and costs, and instead award Hadley the reasonable attorney fees and costs she incurred responding to the motion. Alternatively, if the judge has any concerns about the Apple records, Hadley is asking for an evidentiary hearing before the court imposes any sanction. At this stage, these are DeMaure Hadley's arguments in opposition, and then they have the full documents below here where you can review them. Girl, I know that was a lot of information, but girl, mm, like I said, it's not looking good for Messy Desi, honey. So that's and what was in this court document is absolutely true. I am someone who, there are several emails linked to my Apple account. So I have like 3 of them. So, yeah, just say, I know my email, Derek is normal, but don't email that. Email auntie@auntiederek.com if you want to get in contact with me. But Derek is normal along with at gmail.com, then Derek is normal at iCloud.com. Like these are all linked together. Like if you pretty much try to contact either of them, they're going to come to the same place and it is backed up. So the fact that there's been no backup because they always when you try to do a change of email or anything like that, they tell you to always turn off the Find My iPhone or turn off the Find My whatever, turn off the backup, and so that way it can easily be transferred. Girl, it's not
I hope she wasn't thinking this was gonna be a slam dunk, because it's definitely not.
Yep. So because this actually broke yesterday, and then the news of that person broke this morning. So that's why I'm like, is it a PR move? Maybe I don't know, but I'm gonna be watching. And I know Desi can't stand it, honey. Hmm. Hey, girl. Well, that is that on that, honey. I will keep y'all updated with more info when I see it. And oh, y'all, so this here, honey. So remember, we've been talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner's, his widow, and how she's been going back and forth with the estate. Well, honey, it looks like her longtime friend actually did a GoFundMe for her behalf. And you also see I've just shared here by way of Us Weekly. Friend of Malcolm Jamal Warner's widow launches GoFundMe amid legal battle over late star's estate. So let's get into it. A close friend of Malcolm Jamal Warner's widow, Tanisha Warner, made a GoFundMe on her behalf amid the legal battle over the late actor's estate. I have been Tanisha Warner's closest friend for 19 years, Tanisha's friend Destiny Rael wrote in the introductory of the GoFundMe, which was created on Tuesday, August 11th. I am the one who first brought her and Malcolm Jamal Warner together, and I have been beside her through everything since his tragic passing. Rael explained that she organized the page just because she witnessed up close the depth of Tanisha's grief and the weight that she has to carry, and knows that her friend would not ask for support. I know that Malcolm is beloved by so many, and his fans are grieving his loss. I can tell you what most people never see, Rael continued. I have watched Tanisha spend this year grieving the love of her life while honoring the promise they made to each other to homeschool their 9-year-old daughter. Every single day, she shows up for her child as though her own world had not fallen apart, and she still makes sure breakfast is on the table. Rael shares that she was by Tanisha's side when she returned home following Malcolm Jamal's tragic death. In July 2025, the Cosby Show alum died at age 54 after being caught in a riptide in Costa Rica during the family's vacation. Rael also revealed that the house had an unexpected flooding upon Tanisha's return. She is rebuilding not only her life without him, but the very home they created together, she wrote. Every room holds their memories with no space to truly mourn because the demands have never paused. Legal matters that began within weeks of Malcolm's passing, financial weight carried along, a house to put back together, and their daughter to care for every single day. She has stretched every resource she has and borrowed from people who love her just to keep one foot in front of the other. Excuse me. Rael claimed that Malcolm Jamal intended to update his estate plan to provide for his wife and daughter, but he passed away before he could sign it. She added that now Tanisha, who's 48, is a single mom. She carries the cost of resolving Malcolm's estate alone because asking for help does not come naturally to her. This is why the people who love her have launched this campaign to help Tanisha honor Malcolm's wishes and his legacy while providing stability for their daughter, his only child, and the family he loved the most, Rael wrote. Proceeds from the GoFundMe will help ease the financial strain, cover the expenses she is now facing, and provide security for Tanisha and her daughter as they work toward resolving Malcolm's affairs. The goal for the fundraiser is $40,000. Rael made it clear She is asking anyone to, um, I'm sorry, Mariah made it clear she is asking, or I guess they meant to say she's not asking anyone to take sides in the family matter amid the ongoing legal battle between Tanisha and her mother-in-law, Pamela Warner. I'm asking you to stand with a grieving wife and mother and her young daughter so they don't lose what Malcolm always intended to provide for them, she continued. Every contribution, no matter the amount, makes a meaningful difference. If you're not able to give, sharing this page and keeping Tanisha and her daughter in your thoughts is a powerful gesture of support. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And news broke early this year that Tanisha filed a lawsuit against Pamela for a prenuptial dispute 1 year after Malcolm Jamal died. Pamela, who previously served as her son's manager, is a successor trustee of the Warner Family Trust, which Malcolm Jamal set up in 1996. And according to court documents obtained by us in July, Tanisha argued that she is entitled to more than $1.2 million from the trust. Tanisha claimed that the sum is the equivalent of what Malcolm Jamal had promised her as part of their May 2022 premarital agreement. While Pamela has not addressed the lawsuit directly, she seemingly hinted at the drama the day the documents were filed in court. During my year long journey, I have discovered how cruel, evil, and greedy a human can be, Pamela wrote via Facebook and on the Malcolm Jamal Warner Living Legacy page via Instagram to mark the first anniversary of her son's death. I have also discovered the depth of love, care, concern, and support that humans are capable of, all of which I have been the recipient of. The good, the bad, and the ugly, these are lessons that apparently I will need as I continue my journey. Girl, that was messy as hell, huh? Messy. Let me see. I'm just gonna see where this GoFundMe because they have the link in this page. Let me see where. So they have a $40,000 goal. Oh, they've raised $35,470 dollars already out of 60 donations. Damn. Somebody done donated $32,300. An anonymous donation. Damn. I'm
Good.
I'm saying if you feeling even more generous, honey, you can go ahead and send donations here, Auntie dear. Me and my damn co-host, go ahead and tip us, honey.
That's nice. That's nice. She needs that support, and I hate that she has to be in a lawsuit with her mother-in-law. But now the mother-in-law, there should be evidence of the prenup. Number one, the mother-in-law also has to realize that he would want his wife and daughter supported. Like, I don't understand why it had to go this far. It is giving her that $1 million gonna bankrupt the trust, or what's going on here?
Hell no, I just get the feeling they just didn't like this later.
Well, but that is his wife, that is his daughter. I just don't. I hate
I
it had to
agree
come
with
to
you.
this point. I really do. She needs support as well.
Yeah, and I
I,
can't
I
believe you would ruin your relationship with your grandchild
yeah,
and not make sure she's supported. That's crazy work. But a black mama and their son, some of them be crazy. Some
well,
of
they
y'all be out
do.
here acting a plum
They
fucking
do.
fool.
I mean, I don't know either one of these people. I would hate to try to make an opinion on either one, but I think the mother of the wife and the child deserve the support and help from the trust if he did not complete, because he died suddenly. He didn't linger with an illness and didn't do it. It was a sudden death, and if he didn't have a chance to take care of business, his mother should see to it that this family is taken care of, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And real quick, I just Googled to answer your question, Chill, because Google says that he had an estimated net worth of $6 million at the time of his passing. So no, that $1.2 million would not break them. Go ahead, Libra Queen.
Y'all know how I feel. The mother was made a trustee of a trust that was established in 1996. It's year of our Lord 2026. He Many things have changed. He got a 9-year-old child and what was she 48-year-old wife, and the mama is nasty enough to post talking about she is thankful for both the good and the bad, the just the truncated. Ma'am, if you don't go to hell and take the stairs, because I guarantee motherfucking to you, based off what we have seen of Malcolm, from off camera via his social media and his public persona and his advocacy and his activism. You can't tell me no way, shape, or form would he agree with his mom not doing what is right for his wife and his child. So much so that there is a friend that has to go out and make a fucking GoFundMe. Be fucking for real.
And shout out
Like,
to my friend.
be fucking for real. And anyone who says, well, we should just, it was all in his mama's name and it was this and that and the third, and it's the law and it's that or whatever, and let the legal battle happen. It shouldn't even be no legal battle. She shouldn't even have to get to a point where she has to sue. If you care enough about your son, if you love and care about enough about your son, you should want his legacy, which is his wife and his child, to be safe and secure and financially secure. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, because this was not a random girlfriend or random baby mama. They were married and they had a premarital agreement that she says was not fulfilled. So hey, and the reason that it wasn't fulfilled because they had conversations that he was gonna sign it, but unfortunately came to his untimely demise. And yeah, this so nasty. But for her to, I can understand her putting it on her own personal Facebook. That was one thing. She put that on the official estate's Instagram. I'm like, girl, that's nasty.
I, Auntie, I was hoping that she was not being nasty. I was hoping she was not going to be one of them women who are nasty um, about to their children, their son, wife, or whatever. But she's proven, and like everyone has said, why you just wouldn't give her the money so the child and her could be good? I mean, just like, what is your logical reason to lock down and try and lock your grandchild out of something like that? That's just strange. And that type of behavior is very embarrassing. I'm very
I agree.
disappointed in that lady because I thought she had a little bit more going mentally for herself, but clearly she's one of those typical controlling mothers. Mm.
She remind me of Smokey's mama from Friday, honey. She looked at her daughter-in-law, her granddaughter said, "Make it enough." Girl. Mm-mm. Allegedly. Well, that is that on that. I will continue to follow this story because I'm sure we ain't even seen the beginning of this mess, honey. So that's that on that. Well, Kiki Palmer, she is saying that her and Sean Evans are work for, like, that's my work husband, honey. It ain't gonna go no further than that. We don't really talk outside of work. And you all should see I've just shared here by way of TMZ. Kiki Palmer grilled about Sean Evans' romance rumors. So this is about a clip not even a minute long. Let's see what Kiki has to say about this.
You are very well liked, very beloved. Sean Evans is very well liked and very beloved. It's rare these days. You know how the internet be. It's rare to have two people that are so well liked. So the idea of two well liked in a society in which people love to hate, the idea that you two exist alone and that you could come together, it feels good.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like that they're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just one of those things with me where I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, what are we supposed to do? Just go get married? We won't even know each other outside of work.
Maybe a second date.
So y'all can post about it?
No, I think that like you gave us the one and like catnip. I think from here on out, yeah, you go and live your happily ever after or whatever that may be. With Sean, alone, whatever it may be.
Hmm. So yeah, that's that. We don't even know each other's side of the word. Well, what about a second date? Why? So y'all can post about it. Sorry.
Look, the internet need to sit down and quit trying to pressure people. I mean, y'all don't even go this hard in y'all own personal life. Like, go to hell. all that about them and trying to make that a whole thing, y'all just made it weird. Even if she did kind of like them, y'all made it weird on the internet.
They really
It's just
did.
too
I
much.
have to say, I kinda kept quiet about this, like, because I didn't wanna seem like a hater, but I'm like, "Why is y'all" like, yeah, of course, a white man is into a black woman, like, lusting after a black woman, groundbreaking. Oh, okay, like, we've seen it before, I don't but no and not to take because Sean Evans, based off of what I've seen, does seem like a nice guy, but, I mean, it's still very cringe and, she look, just because she likes her a light, bright man don't mean that she likes her a white man, so allegedly, allegedly.
Well, and
Well,
then it's just putting her on the spot. Like she's the one. Like, I mean, if she don't, maybe she's not interested. And y'all keep making it awkward, and she don't want to be mean, but
Right.
y'all out here making it weird.
And if they felt something for each other, they would have gone out. They would be out in the public. You would know it. You don't have to push people to date. If they had a connection, they would get together. Like, leave this girl alone about this man. Jesus.
mhm.
Kiss him on camera on his show. She
Yep,
didn't
she
have to
did
do
kiss
all
on
of that.
camera.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm
but
She's
it
an
saying.
didn't.
She
They
didn't
actress.
have to do
didn't
She
all
can
of
do
that.
didn't go
whatever.
past
She's
that.
an actress.
You don't see them
Well,
out
that's not fair
anywhere.
then. You can't say she could do whatever she wants, and then when people have say something about it, then it's a problem. Like,
Well, it's
again,
one
I
thing.
love me some Kiki and I love Sean Evans. And I think he is a good guy. And I think his genuine crush for Kiki is a real thing. I do. But I do believe it got blown out of proportion, but I don't think she helped that either, is all I'm saying. I don't
Well,
think she
yeah,
helped
yeah. I
not
saw
blow
the
it up.
kiss.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I hear you.
Yep,
Yes, because if you
that's a
feed
pattern
into the
with
you
her.
feed into the frenzy, then it's gonna go crazy. And that's what she fed into it a little bit, and
But
then no one wanted to let it go.
That's
wasn't
all
that
I'm
kiss
saying. That's
a
all I'm
while
saying.
ago? Like, didn't that happen like months ago?
Almost a year, like
Well,
that whole thing was a while ago. The kid.
well, what happened was he had I think he was asked about her crush or his crush, I'm sorry, and he named her. Then fast forward, I believe she either had a movie coming out or something like that where she ended up on his show. So she kind of played with the idea of it, like, oh, okay, I heard I'm your crush, blah blah blah, brought it up. And then at the end of the show, she's the one that pursued this kiss at the end. It was a peck, it was, a cute little kiss or whatever, and you could tell he was blushing, like, you could tell he was enamored with her prior to the kiss. And so, after that or whatnot, I believe he went on her show. They had some type of back and forth conversation. I don't remember if it was on her show or on a couch of some sort. I don't remember, but I think they met again on camera, and they had my bad. Their moms had spoke about where they were from because I think he's from Illinois as well, like in a nicer area. And so they talked about that and all these correlations and whoop de wop, which is fine. But she's never said, I'm not into him. She kind of hinted, like, we'll see what this can look like type of thing. You know what I mean? So people are inquiring, and this is the first time she's saying that's just my work husband. So, I have to give a little pushback because it's not like she helped the situation either. And he's just standing there like, I'm just happy to be here. So, yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah,
So
and
she
you
can't
actually woke
really
up
get mad.
you actually woke it up for me because Kiki does have, like, this thing of feeding into almost like with her child's father, when we a lot of people saw some red flags when it came to him, and it was like, no, of course, she ain't gonna take the opinions of no strangers on the internet, but still, like, girl, we see some red flags, and she pretty much defended him, like, "Listen, this my man, my man, my man." So then, now it's, "Oh, well, he abused me," and really stuff. It was messy. So, uh, whatever, clever girl. Take the pink mink or don't, girl. And that is that on that. Oh, Rod Wave. The kids seem to really, really love his music. and I don't want to sound like an old bitch. It's just not for Auntie. However, he he's
Gen Alpha.
yeah, Gen Alpha and some Gen Zers as well. They seem
Yeah.
to be really really into him.
Hmm.
And like they think he is I feel like he's their Luther Vandross, to be honest. And I'm not being facetious when I say the way they talk about this man, he just be singing, man. It reaches to my soul. I'm like, your soul, huh? Oh, okay. Well, y'all should see where because he looked like he tried to shoot somebody in a soul hunter for breaking into his house, but unfortunately he's getting in trouble for it. And you all should see I've just shared here by way of all hip hop. Prosecutors build shooting case against Rod Wave with huge video evidence dump. And when they say huge, they are not playing.
For somebody breaking into his home.
Yes, but the
Oh,
problem is he's a felon that owns a gun and was shooting it.
gee,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Yep. Well, Rod Wave is staring down a mountain of evidence as prosecutors continue building their case against him in his Georgia shooting incident. The 26-year-old rapper faces 14 serious charges stemming from an April 2025 confrontation at his Milton home, and the state's legal team has compiled over 90 gigabytes of material to support their allegations. That's not just a few documents. We're talking 1,900 photographs, 111 videos, and multiple audio recordings that prosecutors handed over to his defense team on July 31st. The charges against Rod Wave include aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, pointing or aiming a gun at another person, reckless conduct, and criminal damage to property. His attorney, Drew Findling, has maintained his client's innocence from day one, arguing that Rod was actually the victim in this situation. There is no truth to these charges, Findling stated. Rod Green was the victim of a burglary and committed no crimes. How he was even charged as a result of this situation is incomprehensible. This will absolutely be resolved favorably to Mr. Green. The incident unfolded after someone broke into Rod's residence and emptied a safe from the basement. When his associate returned home and discovered the burglary, a verbal argument erupted between them. According to police reports, Rod fired multiple shots outside his home, striking two luxury vehicles, a gold Mercedes G Wagon and a black Rolls Royce. Officers found bullet casings on the driveway stairs, bullet holes in both cars, and a handgun recovered from the scene. Rod has pled not guilty to all charges. His legal team continues to argue that he was defending his property after being victimized by the burglary, not committing crimes. The rapper's next court appearance is scheduled for September 28th, giving both sides time to review the massive evidence file prosecutors submitted. In the meantime, Rod is moving forward with his music career. He's prepared to release his new album, Don't Look Down, as a tour of the same name launching on September 12th. All right. That's that on that, honey. Y'all see the 90 gigabytes of information that his defense team has to go through. Mm-mm. But yeah, that's great. But then you see how it happened though. So it doesn't sound like based off of the story they were shooting at the actual burglar, or maybe he probably was shooting at someone he thought was the one who wanted him
Well,
to say.
that's what I had my hand up for. Because I was like, wait a minute. So you mean he came home after the fact and then started doing that? Okay, you're done. Okay, okay, okay. Well, see now you're gonna go to jail for being stupid. Because I'm thinking this was in the commission of a burglary. I'm like, so they going harder on him than the actual burglar? But oh, this is after the fact. Oh, so you're done. Okay, yeah. Well, too bad so sad.
Yeah, he's shooting at cars. Like what? Huh? You don't even. This is why you're in trouble, because defending your home against a burglar is one thing. You shooting at the person that you saw doing it, but you just go out and start shooting at cars because you think that's them. No, bro. No.
And you a felon. Like you should even have that. And if you do have that, hide it. Don't let them find it. Like the fuck. Well, that is that
Well,
on
yeah,
that.
no. I'm just like, well, why would you come home and then start raging out and then start shooting the gun after all of this has happened? Now you look stupid. Now you're done. Okay.
Look, crying in the middle of the club. What's his lyrics in the middle of the club? Crying to a love song, whatever the hell he's saying. He gonna be in the middle of jail crying because of a love song. Well, that is that on that, honey. The next four stories I have, believe it or not, actually involve men named John somehow. Like this first story here. So John got his grandson that we've talked about, Carmine. So believe it or not, he's actually getting some of his time, even though we learned that his ass is in prison. That was like, you ain't give up no kidney, so you going straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Take your ass to jail. Now he's actually getting time shaved off of his sentence. And you see where it says here, by way of TMZ, John got his grandson gets prison time shaved off amid his mom's major health issues. So let's get into it. John got his grandson, Carmine Agnello, will have to spend just over a year behind bars as his mom, Victoria Gotti, desperately tries to find a kidney donor during his incarceration, TMZ has learned. The Federal Bureau of Prisons says Carmine's release date has been pushed up to September 2nd, 2027, which is a nearly 13-month stretch instead of his original 15-month sentence. As TMZ reported, Carmine pled guilty to in 2024 to a $1.1 million wire fraud scheme tied to COVID-19 relief funds. Carmine surrendered Monday to the feds and was imprisoned at the federal institution Ferreton in Ferreton, New Jersey. Even though he got some time shaved off, Carmine still faces a major hurdle in trying to supply Victoria with his kidney as her health problems mount while he's in prison. As TMZ told us, Carmine was initially supposed to report to prison on July 20th, but the judge gave him an extension so he could donate one of his kidneys to his mom. But Victoria got an infection and the surgery was shelved. The judge then gave Carmine until August 10th to donate his kidney and report to prison on September 18th. But that didn't work either because Victoria couldn't get medically cleared for the procedure. On Monday, Carmine's attorney, Robert Beltrani, filed court documents asking for a third extension, but the judge turned down the request while postponing Carmine's report time to prison by 2 hours. Our Gotti sources have told us Carmine only wanted to help Victoria by doing the surgery before going to prison as she battled severe complications from kidney disease. We're also told Carmine was not trying to get out of doing his time behind bars. hmm Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Listen, like I said, baby, Victoria, that was a mother. Like, Dr. Sweetelson or whatever his name was, Dr. Sweetelson, go ahead and just make it so that I can't be clear for this surgery, honey, because we need to figure something out. Allegedly, allegedly. Well, that is that on that, but he's going to be getting out 2 months earlier than expected, and I guess with good behavior, that can be even pushed up. How we know this? Because look, as we had in the theater. So that's that on that. Girl, this next story about a John, honey, John Hinckley Jr., girl. Does that name sound familiar to y'all? I know if you of a certain age, it sounds familiar, girl. And I
Yeah,
just hate that this is white privilege at its finest, honey. Like the fact that somebody can try to assassinate a president and still just be talking freely like it's no thing. Well, you all should see I just shared here by way of TMZ. John Hinckley Jr. sends Jodie Foster message decades after Reagan assassination attempt. Well, let's get into it. John Hinckley Jr. is still sending Jodie Foster his love, 45 years after he attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan to impress her. According to a preview for an upcoming interview on the Mark Joseph Show, obtained by Entertainment Weekly, Hinckley Jr. says, I just wish Jodie Foster well, you know? He continued, I don't really see her movies, but I wish her well, and I know she's doing quite well. And that's all I can say is, and, excuse me, and that's all I can just say is I wish Jodie well, and I hope she's had a good life. Hinckley Jr. shot Reagan in 1981 outside the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C., just after the then president had given a speech. He claimed at the time he was trying to impress Jody with the assassination attempt, allegedly inspired by her movie Taxi Driver. In the movie, the actress played a child prostitute alongside Robert De Niro, whose character attempted to assassinate a presidential candidate. Hinckley was ultimately found not guilty by reason of insanity and spent decades in a psychiatric facility at St. Elizabeth Hospital. He was released with conditions in 2016, and in 2022, a federal judge approved his release without conditions. Mhm. Girl, leave her. She don't even like men. Leave her alone. She don't want you.
and this is
Fuck.
why they should have left his ass in prison. He's still infatuated with this girl. He hasn't changed.
He really has not. Now, you know what? Never mind, because I was about to say something else, honey. But I don't want the FBI come to knock on my door. So, but y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Like, if you really want to make a name for yourself, Mr. Hinckley Jr. Hmm. Well, that would y'all believe that I actually learned about this assassination by watching American Dad? Because like this happened before my time. So I really wasn't too. I mean, I've heard things. I did hear that someone attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan at that time, but I didn't know really the details of it. And American Dad had an episode where Stan went back in time to try to prevent this assassination. I was like, oh, that happened. So yeah, shout out to American Dad educating the girls.
Yeah, somebody wound up in a wheelchair. I forget his name. Who was wounded during their attempt. He wound up being paralyzed and in a wheelchair. So
Mhm.
Reagan wasn't the only one. I don't think Reagan was hit, but other people were.
Yep. Oh, child. And you trying to impress somebody who played a child prostitute? Like, dude, what the fuck? Mm.
And what did he think they was gonna be together after he tried to assassinate the president? It wasn't a movie, dude. Like you was going to prison. So what? What? Uh, I trying to figure out mental illness. Yeah. Next story.
Hello. Hello. Well, so another story about John, honey, John Ham. Um, I have opinions, but I'm just gonna kind of keep them to myself. But he and his wife, so John is what, 55, and his wife is 38, but they are expecting their first baby together. And let me share my screen because this is a People article. I feel like People only likes us to share one article, but y'all should see. Let me click this off here. John Hamm and wife Anna Osceola, and if I mispronounce it, I'm so sorry. But
Osceola. It's probably
Osceola, thank
Osceola.
you, thank you. And they're expecting their first baby together. So, ooh, move these pop ups. So, John Hamm and Anna Osceola are going to be parents. The Madman actor and Osceola are expecting their first baby together, a source confirms to People. Reps for both Ham, who's 55, and Osceola, who's 38, could not be reached for a comment. Daily Mail was the first to report the news that the couple are expecting their first child. Ham and Osceola's happy news comes a few years after the Your Friends and Neighbors co-stars tied the knot in June 2023. And I'll just end it there because that's pretty much the story. He is uh, mm, okay. This is straight people business, honey. I ain't, so that's that on that. And what we got next? Um,
Okay, wait, before you go on, you're gonna have to tell me. I guess you're gonna have to tell me off. Then what's your beef with him?
oh no, no beef with him. It's just the age difference. I'm really not a fan of, and then having
Alright.
babies, bringing babies into the world at this particular stage in his life. I'm just not a fan of it. Her, 38 years old. That's not. I'm not frowning at that. But 55, and you about to be 55 with a newborn. mm,
Um, I was oh his age difference having a baby. I was
yeah.
thinking, well, their age difference as far as getting together. I was like, that's not that bad.
Oh no, not bad at all. No, in fact, honey, I encourage that. That's my kind of carrying on. But see, I can't have no babies. So, and I don't. But then again, let me not, because then I was already called a eugenicist for expressing these views. So, but I just feel like certain men of a certain age should not be out here impregnating younger women. It's not a good look to me. So, and that's also straight people business. So that's that on that. Well, and another John. The last time we talked about this, it was pretty much water is wet type news. But when John, what was his name? John Voight came out as gay, and we talked about a win on Monday's show, I think. Well, now,
You
honey,
talking
it's
about
turned.
Anna Jolie's brother? Is that his
Uh-huh.
name? Because John Boyd is their daddy.
Okay, well, yeah. You're right. John Voight is a dead. James Haven is his name. I'm sorry. James Haven. And the reason I brought up John Voight, because John Voight actually gave him a call, honey, after that news broke out. He said, let me give him a call, honey. And y'all see where it says here by way of TMZ. Angelina Jolie's brother, James Haven, contacted by dad, John Voight, after coming out as gay. After coming out his glass closet, honey. Well, Angelina Jolie's brother, James Haven, was contacted by his famous dad, John Voight, after he publicly came out as a gay man, TMZ has learned. Sources close to James tell TMZ John, who has been open about his conservative views for years, called his son after seeing TMZ's report. Our source said John told his son, I now know who you are, and let out a little chuckle, which was a relief to James. John tells TMZ he's very close to his son and loves him dearly. We're told James felt loved by his father, along with many other friends, after his big announcement. As TMZ first reported, James announced he was gay on a live stream with his ex wife, Romy Imbelli, on her Substack. On the stream, James read a letter about his decision to come out. James didn't have the language back when he was a kid to explain how he felt. He said, like so many gay kids, I learned to question parts of myself long before I learned to celebrate them. He added, I hope my family and others can choose love over fear, understanding over judgment, and connection over the beliefs that may have kept us apart. At the moment, James came out to Romy before coming out publicly, and the two are working on turning Romy's book into a television show. They want to be. She want to be Fran Drescher so bad, honey. But ain't nobody going. But I don't believe a single word of this story, honey. You got your 80-year-old daddy, right? Y'all so close, and oh my God, John loves his son. But it took a TMZ article for you to see who he really was. Okay, I don't believe this for a second. And I think he let out a chuckle, all right, but it definitely wasn't a yeah. I now know what you are. He about look. You sitting there thinking he accepted her the whole time he write your ass out that wheel. Allegedly, allegedly. Well, that is that on that, honey. I don't trust a conservative person as far as I can throw them, honey. Well, that on that. Kristen Bell, come get your husband. Your husband, he was already doing some weird shit on his social media, honey. You kind of woke it up for us. He was talking about he was going to allegedly kill you or joking about killing you or some shit. Girl, now he on people's podcasts talking about he loves the male body more than anything in the world. That's what he said, girl. He loves the male body more than anything in the world. And y'all should see where it says here, by way of Radar Online, Dak Shepard admits he loves men's bodies more than anything in the world during Bizarre podcast interview.
Auntie, when are these men going to come out and say, I really hate women. I don't like them. I really like men. Because it's just too many of them now talking about, well, I like hanging out with my male friend more than I like my girlfriend and blah, blah. Go be together, y'all. You'll be much more happier.
You sure would. And I hate to say this, but I would actually be a little bit more okay with that type of art because I guess they do have a different environment around friends than they do around a girl. That's one. But he's saying I like the male physique. I like the male body. I like big muscles and girl. We have a comment saying he ain't special. He ain't special. He's supposed to be straight. But and this also I do remember seeing a bodybuilder on Twitter was pretty much saying how he initially went into bodybuilding thinking he was going to get the attention of more women and then learned that he got the most attention from mostly men. So I guess it's something to that. But I'm going to play this clip that they have on Instagram and then I'm going to read this little section afterwards that kind of elaborates why he said what he said. So let me share my screen.
Love men's bodies more. I'm sure you don't know this about me, but I love men's bodies more than anything in the world.
Really? Yeah, you're in good shape. You're in very good shape.
I love muscles so much.
Yeah. What is it about it, do you think?
Well, for me, I'll explain it as like being born in 75. And it was like my first drive-in movie was Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, wait a minute, a man can look like a gorilla? Like, and then Stallone was at his height. It was like the birth of muscles. I'm sure you don't know this about me.
The birth of muscles, huh? That was your awakening.
They want to go back to the days of male bathhouses and honestly, they want to go back to the Greek times where men only hung out with men and had sex with men, and they only tolerated the women to have babies. but they don't want to
Mhm.
call it gay. But that's what they
Yep.
want to do.
Girl, and the gag is they might be getting their wish because didn't I just read something about some new bathhouse law in New York City? They just kind of I need to read more into it. I'm like, oh, okay.
And there's a push for all male gyms now too. Let me tell you, they don't want to admit they gay, but they gay. They be so mad. But all the arrows are pointing to they would rather be with males, and I guess we gotta procreate with these broads, but whatever.
Mm-mm. Well, this he goes on the some of the reason he said it says Shepard revealed how with age and time he's come to understand why he became obsessed with muscular men's bodies as a child, and it had seeds in trauma. I'll hit you with my current understanding of my fascination. One is that I grew up in a house with a violent stepdad beating everyone up, he shared. So when I saw Conan, I was like, oh, if I look like that, I got no problems for the rest of my life. So that was like, yeah, if I was Conan, I got no problems, Shepard noted. Second, I think this is the true thing that intrigues me about muscles is that it's rare that you can see a visual display of someone's work ethic and dedication, Shepard continued. He then relayed his own journey to gaining that desired look. As someone whose shadow is you're a lazy piece of shit who's undisciplined, to conquer that is, to me, is the ultimate goal. I can see, wow, there's some dedication here. There's some execution. There's like real commitment. There's struggle. This is the proof of making oneself suffer for a goal, the podcast host said. Ultimately, the hit and run star figured out how to get the body he wants. I eat in a way that like works for me so that I'm not miserable at all. I work out all the time because I'm a nutcase and it's my medicine. And the esteem I get from knowing I did the thing I didn't want to do is joyful. I love it, Shepherd Ray. Okay. I mean, I guess because in that part, I'm even in my own journey with my body and stuff, after working out and stuff like that, I am loving the changes that I'm seeing and stuff. I even celebrated it with my girls.
Panties. Mm-hmm.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Oh my God, thank you. So I mean, I get it, but I'm also gay. I'm also openly gay. So
Okay. Now I will say when he further explained it's out of trauma, it was out of being a child and wanting to have that strength to protect themselves because you had an abusive parent. Okay, that makes I see where he's going. It's not in a sexual manner. It's in a I want to be safe and I can protect myself.
honey, I think it's a sexual manner at this point. I ain't gonna tell you no lies. 'Cause
Well, I guess the way he said it, it did come off like that for sure. But like with his further explanation, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It was out of trauma and like thinking to protect yourself. But
look, and this bitch in the chat talking about your body converted in muscles instead of nut like usual. I know that's right. You know what, girl? Fuck you. Oh, but yeah, yeah, I certainly get. So I definitely get it. Like, yeah, that's but honey, you weren't a child years ago. You still on in telling the public, yeah, I love it more than anything in the world. It's one thing because I admire the male physique, because I aspire to be this. That's one. No, honey, he said I love men's bodies more than anything in the world, honey. Mm-mm. And his wife is also in this world, ain't she? I'm just saying. Well, that is that on that. And what else we got? Oh, girl, this is interesting because we have actually been talking about Lindsay Chrisley for quite some time and her ex, and I think we learned like some months back reading about her case, like she, I guess, allegedly beat the hell out of her boyfriend, but it's looking like it might be in self defense. And I say that because I just shared this story here about Us Weekly. Lindsay Chrisley's ex boyfriend David Landsman indicted on aggravated assault charges. Girl, so let's get into it. So, Lindsay Chrisley's ex boyfriend, David Landsman, has been indicted on various charges, including aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and battery. According to court documents exclusively obtained by us, the state of Georgia charged and accused Landsman of aggravated assault after an alleged incident on April 10 in Cherokee County. Landsman allegedly assaulted Chrisley, who's 36, with his hand and forcibly threw her to the ground, causing a laceration to her head. Court documents also allege that Landsman applied pressure to her throat and neck during the alleged incident. Landsman is also accused of false imprisonment after he allegedly and unlawfully confined and detained Chrisley. Finally, the business development expert is accused of battery after he allegedly and intentionally caused substantial physical harm and visible body harm to Chrisley and by forcibly throwing and slamming her to the ground. 11 individuals, including Chrisley, are listed on the state of Georgia's witness list. US has reached out to the Deputy Chief Assistant District Attorney for comment. Mr. Landsman asserts his innocence regarding any charges on the indictment, Landsman attorney told us in a statement. Grand juries are one sided presentments where only the government presents any evidence. We will enter a plea of not guilty. While the process is not quick, we expect any charges will be resolved in his favor. Back in April, US confirmed that Chrisley had filed a protective order against Landsman. Court documents noted that Chrisley and Landsman were in a relationship for approximately 2 years before the alleged incident on April 10th, when he was arrested for aggravated assault, strangulation, and battery. The night prior, the pair were allegedly at dinner when Landsman saw a photo of Chrisley on Chrisley's phone of who he assumed was another man. Landsman allegedly became verbally aggressive until Chrisley explained the photo was of him. Landsman reportedly apologized for his behavior once he confirmed the photo was of himself. Chrisley claimed that he remained somewhat on edge for the rest of the evening. After their dinner, Chrisley went back to Landsman's home and allegedly told him it would be best for her to step away from the relationship for the time being due to some things currently going on in his life. When Chrisley went to leave Landsman's home, he allegedly strangled her multiple times. Landsman himself called law enforcement to make a report against Chrisley in 911 audio obtained by TMZ. When asked whether he needed an ambulance, Landsman replied, I mean, no. She punched me in the face. There's blood, but I mean, I'm okay. Landsman alleged that he didn't think Chrisley had been consuming alcohol or drugs at the time and claimed she had never done anything similar to him before. According to the court docs, authorities met Chrisley at her house and examined injuries on her neck and her head. And then this ends with, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for confidential support. Mm-mm.
So what I'm understanding is he thought he was gonna choke her out, and then she busted him in his shit, and then he called the police.
Yup. How dare she not let me strangle her? Oh my God. She fought me off of her? Oh no, please. Look, a male Karen. What do they call a male Karen? A Kyle? I don't know.
Karen.
Oop.
Now, if she gets back with him, that's going to be on her, because a man that choked you, that's pretty violent. When he thought it was another man and it wasn't even, it was him. So now, if you stay with this man, expect him to choke you again.
Hmm. And there's a study I saw. I can't think of where it came from, but that study pretty much confirmed that like by way of intimate partner violence, there was they had proven that these women were strangled before they were ultimately unfortunately killed. Like, so they're pretty much saying, like, if a man strangles you first, he is highly likely to kill you. Like, I think the number, don't quote me though, but I think the number is like he's 500 or some odd percent likely to kill you if he strangles you.
Yep, yep. That's definitely psychopathic behavior. So if you believe he's sorry and continue to see this man, you have a problem, girl. Pay attention.
Hmm. Well, y'all, let's talk about some politics, some political corners, honey. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, honey, she done left her man, honey. And you all see, I just shared here by way of TMZ. Rep. Alexandria Ocasio
Good,
Cortez split
Jesus.
from fiance Riley Roberts. You said good.
Yes, girl, you too cute for that. What is going on? Mm-mm.
Well, this starts. There's a reason Rep. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez isn't mentioning her fiance Riley Roberts when she talks about freezing her eggs. TMZ has confirmed they broke up. AOC and Riley actually split roughly 2 years ago and called off their engagement, according to Puck's chief Washington correspondent, Lee All Caldwell, who was first to report on the couple's demise. Multiple sources on Capitol Hill tell TMZ it's felt like ages since the pair were seen together publicly. That's not hyperbole. Riley and AOC were last photographed at 2021's Met Gala. About a year later, in May 2022, the Congresswoman confirmed she and RR were engaged. While we've confirmed they're donezo, we can't say for certain when the breakup went down. As you know, AOC is freezing her eggs and documenting her journey, which she described as very daunting. She made zero mention of Riley during her first video about the process. We've reached out to AOC's rep and they had no comment. Baby, they said they've been when did they 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago, and we didn't know. Oh, we have a comment saying, wow, he looks white as white.
Right? Look here. And you know what? And I'm glad we didn't know. It wasn't nothing about business. Okay? But I'm glad she did because, girl, he shouldn't even. Ooh, we be giving. Child. I think
Mhm.
AOC
They,
is she's a cutie. And I'm
they look
like,
like oil and water.
don't even look right. Child.
Child, if y'all see me with an ugly ass white man, honey, just know I am trying to use his privilege to get ahead.
You already know you like ugly people. It's okay.
I like ugly niggas, honey. Now the white man, honey, they gotta I got to get something out of the deal, honey. I ain't gonna be y'all
Look,
take away my black card.
and look, and I don't condone either one of the uglies, okay? I don't care. Because what you said yesterday that should not be repeated, I was so like, I want better for you. I want better.
Look, I like what I like, honey.
Mm, you like scabs, and that hurt my heart.
Oh,
I didn't think we could get lower than 50 cents, but somehow.
baby, we down in the gutter, honey. We ain't even that's not even the gutter, honey. That's the earth's crust. That's where we at,
Okay,
honey.
actually, yes. I'm glad you admitted that.
No, but eventually I'm gonna end up being like Shannon Elizabeth. Y'all remember her from she was in Clueless, American Pie,
Yeah,
Sabrina the
Shannon
Teenage Witch.
Elizabeth. Yep, I remember what she did. What she
Honey,
did.
she said, baby, she ain't never getting married again. Honey. Matter of fact, she ain't never dating again. She ain't not interested. And you see where I've just shared here by way of Radar Online, American Pie bombshell Shannon Elizabeth, who's 52, vows never to date again after finalizing divorce. Says, I have no interest.
I
I
know
know
that's
that's
right.
right, girl.
Look, I am one step away. I am half a relationship away from there right now. Okay?
Listen,
Never
baby.
again. Don't care. Don't want it. No more.
The girls are waking up to see, baby, we can do bad by ourselves. Like, what? Yeah. Well, this starts. Newly divorced Shannon Elizabeth has made it clear she's officially done. Excuse me. Let me start this over again. Newly divorced Shannon Elizabeth has made it clear, crystal clear, she's officially off the market and doesn't plan on ever dating again after the collapse of her second marriage, Radar Online can reveal. The 52-year-old, still stunning American Pie bombshell filed for divorce from wildlife conservationist Simon Bochert in April, and the divorce was finalized a month later. Now she seemingly intends to stay man free for the rest of her life. Elizabeth moved to South Africa in 2016 to focus on her wildlife foundation. It was there she fell for the career conservationist whom she married in 2021. During an August 10th appearance on Bill Maher Club Random podcast, the HBO personality asked her, what's the dating scene like in Cape Town? Well, I mean, I'm very newly single and I don't plan on ever dating again, to be honest. The scary movie star replied. Mar was incredulous, asking, oh, come on, you're going to date, not even dating? To which she responds with a deadly serious, no, I do not want to date. Elizabeth explained, I'm not interested. Like, there's too many con artists out there. There's too many people I don't trust. I have no interest. Mar still didn't believe the former actress's lifelong self imposed dating ban would stick.
Because he's an
Well,
idiot.
because he's a fucking idiot, exactly. Well, I'm not saying I know you better than you because I don't. You know you better than you. I will say this I have heard that from many people right after, he added, referring to making decisions on dating after a split or divorce. I mean, including many celebrities, I could go down the list, Mar shared, pointing to uh, I don't know. I guess they must didn't put the person in, but it says pointing to somebody who famously declared in 2009 that she would never marry again following
Halle
two
Berry.
divorces. Huh?
She was talking about Halle Berry.
Oh, okay. Halle Berry. Okay, who famously declared in 2009 that she would never marry again following two divorces, only to wed and later divorce fellow actor Olivier Martinez in 2015. This has excuse me, time has a way of making you lonely, the real-time host pointed out, but it didn't sway Elizabeth's mind. I'm perfectly fine not being with anyone and not wanting anything, she proclaimed. And I'm just gonna end it there because that's pretty much the story. You see, look, a man trying to tell her what she really wants, honey.
And the thing is, he still got her wrong. Hallie said, I'm never getting married again. Hallie never said she wasn't going to date. She never said that. She just said, I'm never getting married. Okay, then she went back on that. When a woman says she don't want no man ever in her life, that's a whole different, we talking about a whole different can of worms.
Right.
Because Hallie said, I'm still open to dating. I'm going to date, but I don't want to marry. Okay, girl.
You say the candy shop is closed, shut down,
And
out of
yes, and
business.
women today, what we've been going through with men, 2009 and 2026 is two different times. Okay, a lot of life has been lived in between there, and a lot of things have gone down. And Bill Maher, don't nobody want you.
Exactly. Bill Maher looks like somebody who has to pay for pussy. Like, please get it out my face, honey. Bye. I cannot
Mhm.
stand that mansplaining shit. I hate it. What you mean you gonna take this woman clearly said, I listen, I'm very sure of what I want, and said it to him about what, two or three times based off this article. And he's still trying to push back on, well, I mean, you know you better than you, but I mean, I've heard from
But
nobody give a fuck what you heard, you fucking idiot.
and look, and I bet you that solidified it even more because I know she probably was irritated as fuck with that shit. Right? Okay, so you
Well,
just
that's
gonna
what she
keep
get, because why the hell she going there in the first place?
She was trying to promote her stuff. She ain't out here like that no more. But I
Girl.
don't fault her for that. But I know she probably ain't going back after that.
Keep your ass in South Africa, girl. Don't go on Bill Martin's show no more. Don't give him no airtime. No. Remember, we actually, some of us actually used to think he was smart. I used to think he was a smart white guy, but baby,
Back in the
after,
day.
yeah, after
And he
recent
showed
events,
who he
honey,
was.
that is a white man through and through, honey. Well, that is that on that. Girl, let's talk about some news tea, honey. Some beef between ABC and who else? Is this where Josh Elliott work? Anyway, we about to find out because Liz Cho, honey. How about she done got a shit, I can't even talk, honey. This story got me so riled up.
Wait,
But
Josh Elliott used to be on Good Morning America. What's going
Mhm.
on?
Baby, he used to be with Liz Cho, honey. She done filed a protective order against his ass, girl. Ah,
Who?
girl. You see where it says here by way of
Josh.
TMZ. ABC News anchor Liz Cho seeks protective order against ex-CBS host Josh Elliott. Girl, I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, let's get into it. Liz Cho has filed for a protective order amid her contentious divorce from Josh Elliott, but the request has nothing to do with her personal safety. The ABC 7 New York News anchor asked the court to block Elliott's attorneys from deposing her on July 23, according to court documents obtained by Page 6. Cho filed the request July 17, arguing the deposition had been scheduled without first checking whether she or her attorneys were available. The deposition was noticed without any inquiry as to the availability of Cho and her counsel, the filing reportedly states. Cho claims she told the former CBS host's legal team her attorneys had previously scheduled conflicts and offered alternative dates, but says Elliott's side never responded. It's unclear whether the deposition ultimately went forward or was rescheduled. Cho also objected to Elliott's request that she turn over communications with anyone other than him with whom she had a romantic and or sexual relationship between July 2015 and June 2025. During her objection, the Daily Mail reports Cho turned over the requested documents during a virtual hearing on July 24. Elliott filed for divorce in June 2025, and the split has since turned into a messy legal battle. I'm sorry, and I have to read this again. It says Cho objected to Ellie's request that she turn over communications with anyone other than him, with whom she had a romantic and/or sexual relationship between July 2015 and June 2025. So you pretty much want to see if I was cheating on you. Hmm. From this 10-year period, and you think she's gonna be honest about it? Okay.
And this
The
is her
audacity of a
second
white man.
divorce. This is her second divorce.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And yes, Libra Queen, the audacity of a white man. Honey. You know that I tell you, they be acting like they be getting it for free at a farmer's market. So
Shit, they pick up. They act like they come in the mail like them blue pills. Child.
yeah. Yes, honey. But that's what he did, girl. So it doesn't have anything to do with her safety. It's just like, but he's trying to have court depositions, and he didn't even check to see if me and my attorneys was available. So that is that on that. And what we have next, oh girl, this is messy. Sam Altman's sister. Did y'all hear about what's going on with him and how his sister done claimed that that he was very inappropriate with her growing up, and he told
Yeah,
the
I know.
court, yep, said gonna tell the court that she's mentally ill. She said, bitch,
Mhm.
no, I'm not mentally ill."
Look, he looked like he did. Look at him. I was just gonna say he looked like he was a, a pervert.
Okay, and the sister is firing back. And y'all should see what I've just shared here by way of TMZ. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's sister fires back at his claim she's mentally ill in court battle. So let's get into it. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's sister is asking a judge to toss the lawsuit he filed against her, insisting her claims that he sexually abused her during their childhood are true, TMZ has learned. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Ann Altman denies Sam's claim she defamed him by accusing him of abuse. In the docs, Anne also takes issue with Sam labeling her mentally ill in their court battle, saying her brother slanderously categorized her. I'm sorry, slanderously characterized her. Yeah, I said it right. In his counterclaim and on social media in an effort to silence her. Anne claimed she was diagnosed with PTSD due to Sam's abuse. In her filing, Anne also denied that Sam currently provides her with monthly financial support, but did admit he provided her financial support years ago for bills and other expenses. She also said Sam offered to buy her a home, but she declined the offer due to the terms of the gift. Anne admits she posted on social media about the alleged abuse, but says she never mentioned Sam by name and only stated that she was touched by older siblings. She asked for his counterclaims against her to be thrown out of court. As TMZ previously reported, Anne claimed she was sexually abused by Sam from 1997 to 2006. She said it started when she was 3 and the billionaire was 12. Sam adamantly denies all allegations of wrongdoing. He said various family members backed him in the family feud. The businessman countersued Ann for defamation, asking for a token $1 in damages for saying he was and saying he was seeking to only establish the falsity of her claims. Mm, okay, girl. I listen. I feel
The
like
family always gonna hide the secrets and support the motherfucker
Hmm.
who got the money.
they
Please.
sure are.
And
And I'm and
I
I'm
distinctly remember when she was talking about that on socials, and the fact that she's sitting here telling the truth and you trying to make her out like she crazy is crazy to me.
hmm
Agreed.
But we live in white America.
Oh yeah, he tried to suppress it, and yeah, I'm sure he was dangling uh, all that stuff in front of her to keep her quiet. Hopefully, she don't end up missing.
Listen, okay. And I'm sorry, but when I am inclined to believe any woman that says she was sexually abused by any man, because we just have to that women lie, okay, sure, but we have more documented cases of men being predatory than women lying about it. So it's no, you cannot pay me to believe that this is not happening to her. I absolutely believe it happened to her.
And making up a lie that your sibling touched you, of all the lies to make up.
Exactly. So that is that on that, honey. And of course, if anything comes out, I will keep y'all updated. Well, this next story, honey. So Kelly Clarkson just unintentionally exposed what I initially thought of NBC News. I think they racist out there. And I think somebody purposely, because remember I said when that not Sam, but Craig David and Al
Mhm.
Roker story broke, and I kept saying like that was an inside job. Somebody let that motherfucker in. They were trying to be because he got too close to the talent, and that does not happen as somebody who has visited several daytime TV shows and daytime TV productions. It just does not happen. Well, Kelly Clarkson, y'all should see here by way of this Radar Online exclusive. She pokes fun at NBC's strict new HR rules. So let's get into it. Kelly Clarkson poked fun at NBC's famously cautious HR culture during her residency at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, joking, sneeze and you're in a meeting. While a senior NBC source called Clarkson's quip satire, Radar Online can reveal other network insiders claim she said out loud what many employees have been thinking for years. Everyone at 30 Rock understood exactly what Kelly meant, said a source. Everything is documented, every interaction is scrutinized, and people are constantly worried about crossing an invisible line. Insiders' heightened vigilance followed the Matt Lauer scandal, with NBC dramatically strengthening its workplace policies. Nobody wants another crisis, so HR carries enormous influence, said another source. Some employees appreciate the safeguards, others think the pendulum has swung too far. It goes on. As Clarkson viewers may know, the Kelly Clarkson Show is officially coming to an end after 7 seasons. The host decided not to renew her contract as she shifts her focus to her children following the August 2025 death of her ex husband, Brandon Blackstock, after his private cancer battle. Mhm. So they got these new strict HR rules, honey. After mhm, new strict HR rules and HR it's that's everybody over the company, right, including security. Mhm.
Who did they determine who's going to take over for her show or her slot or whatever?
Not that I read. Let me see. Who is taking over Kelly Clarkson show? Let's see what comes up. It says no. So according to Google AI, no one is permanently taking over the show. Kelly Clarkson announced the show will be her last, but singer Pink only temporarily guest hosted. What else? It says NBC has not announced a permanent replacement for the time slot just yet. So nobody yet. From what I saw, Pink did a really good job. She really did. So that's that on that, honey. What else we got? Oh, I got three more stories left. Girl, let's talk about this. We've been talking about these people for a while. So Steve Burton and Cherie Burton. Um, you should see. I have just shared here by way of Us Weekly, and it says Steve Burton's ex-wife Cherie denies she alienated him from their daughter. Request to move. Let's get into it. Steve Burton's ex-wife Cherie Burton is firing back at claims she is alienating the soap star from his daughter Brooklyn following the former couple's 2022 divorce. In court documents obtained by us on Tuesday, August 11th, Cherie, who's 49, requested a judge allow her to move to Tennessee from California despite Steve's relocation back to the West Coast in recent months. Cherie alleged in the August 6th filing that their 12-year-old daughter, Brooklyn, has her own iPad, which she enables her to communicate with father freely via calls, text, and FaceTime. Despite father's claims, she had this same access previously and was not restricted from father, Cherie declared in the docs. Cherie acknowledged that she and Steve, who also share adult children, McKenna, who's 22, and Jack, who's 20, have poor communication. However, she noted the General Hospital Star's messages are allegedly full of accusations that do not match the reality of the situation, such as accusing mother of alienation because she is following the orders he agreed to. According to Cherie, who was married to Steve for 23 years before their 2022 split, he signed a new custody schedule before deciding to move to Tennessee in February. The former spouse's current order gives Steve, who's 56, time with Brooklyn, 1 weekend a month when school resumes, and previously entailed him seeing his child once a month while living in separate states. Cherie alleged in the August filing that the actor's relocation was the second time he moved cross country without Brooklyn, explaining that she signed a stipulation she thought was in her daughter's best interest. The aforementioned stipulation allowed for Brooklyn to have frequent and continuing contact with Steve while she enjoyed her primary residence with Cherie in Orange County, California. Around that time, the exes started mediation. Steve announced he and his family were moving back to California, which he allegedly said was to be near Brooklyn. Cherie noted in her filing that she agreed to Steve's request for time with his daughter over the summer, but claimed that the Young and the Restless actor's plans on his move continued to change. She further alleged that Steve does not yet have a stable residence in California, which Cherie told the judge should help her case as Brooklyn's primary caretaker. Cherie agreed that although her own proposed move to Tennessee would be a change for Brooklyn, she claimed that she is the stable parent and has always been. Cherie, who also shares two daughters with husband Jason Amador, or Amador. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But she added that Brooklyn shouldn't be ordered to stay in California, where her primary care would fall to her stepmother, Michelle Lundstrom. Steve married Lundstrom, who's 44, in May 2025. According to the filing, Cherie believes it's more likely that Steve would also return to Tennessee, rendering this RFO moot as well. Cherie further claimed that Steve is complicating her desire to move to Tennessee amid his own unstable living decisions. Cherie's attorney alleged in the filing she was hoping he would be honest and reasonable, but in the absence of co-parenting, she is turning to the courts. Us Weekly has reached out to Steve's legal team for comment. Baby, Steve is hurt and he is taking it out on her, honey. He hurt and
What he
cannot
heard
get
about?
over.
Ain't he remarried?
But he married, but remember she had she was pregnant with another man's baby while they were married.
Oh, so
Mm,
he bitter. Oh,
he's bitter. Yep. Oh, allegedly. Go ahead, Libra Queen.
Is this a recent picture? Because I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
It can't be because 56. You know, you know, you know. 56. I'm looking for the 56-year-old. This can't be a recent picture. Cannot. I don't believe it. If not, the surgeon. If
well,
this
it's
is
not because they've
recent,
been divorced. This is not recent because they're not
right.
together, so they wouldn't
But
even be
if it
together.
were,
So,
were kind of recent, he need to be the poster child of his whoever his surgeon slash cosmet cosmetology team is. You know?
So this is I believe this is what he looks like today. So there is a little bit more gray and you can see the aging. So
Okay. I could buy
yeah.
this. This is giving 56. That other one, no. That other one,
Mhm.
hell no. And that one with that hat back where you can see his hairline receding a little bit, it's definitely giving I'm a red blooded Republican. Amen. Amen.
It's giving that, and I'm not
Allegedly.
like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. That's what it's giving.
Hmm. But yeah, mm, he out here crashing out.
Yep.
Barely, yeah. Clearly, that's an old ass picture, and she younger than him, and she don't
Mhm.
look it in this picture. Oh Lord, she was clearly going through it.
Oh, honey. Found her, safety in another man.
Go ahead, girl.
Look, I
That's why you
love
gotta
women.
get 1, 2, 3, release them. Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. A man will drain the everlasting energy out of you, and I don't subscribe to that. No.
Yes, honey. Women in male dominated fields, honey. Work. I love it. But this is another story I'm gonna continue to follow because I just love myths, honey.
Yeah, white people business.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some black people business or black and Asian business. Janae Aiko, honey. They out here
We
saying
don't
that
care.
her
That's par for the course for California. We do not care.
Well, I happen to be a fan of Janae.
That's
Did
fine. Shout out to
Yes,
Larry.
yes, honey. But honey, they word on the curb is they might be dating, honey. Her and Larry June might be a thing. And you all should see I've just shared here by way of all hip hop. And they ask, are Janae Aiko and Larry June dating? So this starts. Janae Aiko may have turned Larry June's California Dream into a dating rumor. The visual for California Dream from Larry's new album, Who Coppin', arrived Tuesday and immediately poured premium gasoline on speculation that Larry and Janae are more than collaborators. Directed by Sean Kelly, the video follows the pair through a dreamy California romance, complete with matching Porsche energy, affectionate embraces, beach scenery, and enough intimacy to make people wonder whether somebody forgot to yell, cut. And yes, there is a particularly suggestive scene that is going to keep social media detectives employed. But this rumor did not begin with the music video. Back in June, fans noticed Janae wearing a necklace featuring an orange slice beneath the names of her children. Anybody familiar with Larry knows oranges are practically part of his personal constitution. Larry reportedly responded with an orange emoji. Then came a since deleted photo from Larry featuring his watch beside a woman's tattooed hand that fans believe resembled Janae's. She was also spotted around his festival performance in Paris. Neither artist confirmed a romance, and now we have California Dream. Are these two telling everybody without actually telling everybody? The timing makes this especially interesting because All Hip Hop exclusively reported last November that Janae and Big Sean had ended their longtime relationship amid disagreements concerning marriage. She wanted marriage. She wanted the commitment, a source told All Hip Hop. Sean loves her deeply, but he just never wanted to take that final step. The former couple shared their son Noah and created music together as 2088. Sources told All Hip Hop their separation remained peaceful, with both focused on parenting. So where does Larry June fit? Maybe nowhere beyond an exceptionally convincing music video. Artists have been pretending to fall in love on camera since cameras were invented. This is great promo either way, but Larry June and Janae Aiko feel like the real deal. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, keep us out of it because we don't care.
What do you mean a real deal? I mean, they're just dating. Please, be fucking for real. People are
No,
just
let the mess happen when Big Sean start feeling some type of way. Let
who
them when
cares
they
how
get
he feels?
engaged and they get married and she get pregnant with another baby. Yeah, I want to see the crash out from that.
He's an Aries, honey. He's only going to crash out in private. That's we don't crash out in public.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Big Sean.
Big Sean, that's an Aries king, honey. We don't crash out in
Oh,
public.
well, Lil June is a Aries King too, so there's that.
Is he?
Yeah, April 8th.
Ow, ow, ow. Shout out to that Aries king. Oh, and speaking of another Aries king, honey, that has nothing to do with nothing, but I just had to comment. Yes, Bokeem Woodbine. I just learned that he's going to be in the new season of the Dexter show. So
Oh
yeah,
yes,
oh,
you know
baby.
I
Okay,
know that's
wait.
right.
I watch it
Who'd you
just about.
say?
I already didn't like Bokeem Woodbine. I already didn't like that Dexter reboot that they brought back. I thought it was trash, to be honest. But since he's going to be part of the next season, I will be front and center watching. I love Bokeem Woodbine.
I have not seen it yet because I refuse to pay for it. So I'm waiting for them to put it on one of the plethora of streaming services I have for free, and then I watch it because I've watched pretty much every reboot or like the version of it that they've put out, even with the kid, the wait, he did the kid, he did there's something else, and then I think I've seen like maybe one or two episodes of like the prequel version, and yeah, we gonna see.
Yeah, girl, honey, he came out with what was that? New Blood. They could have kept it because that was when he was like upstate New York. Ugh, that was horrible. I guess the spoiler alert. So if you were watching, you haven't seen it, close your ears real quick. I guess it was good to see Harrison all grown up. That's like I guess the only positive about it to me. But
But
then,
nobody cared though.
huh, um,
But nobody cared.
whoop, right? And then the newest one, I forget the one that had Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage. That one, I really didn't care for that one at all. But it was better than New Blood for sure. But it just the
The
one that I
one,
thought.
the
Oh, go ahead.
episode that I saw from the prequel, I think they got the casting right for that. I was surprised at the cast. I was like, who did the cast? Who did the casting?
That
I think
prequel was
that was
so good, Libra Queen, and I was actually surprised that shit was only canceled after one season. That was so good. They had Christina Milian playing Laguerra, and she ate. But
yeah. Dip it low, bring it up slow, roll it
okay,
up.
she ate that
Hey,
role, honey.
she said I could do more than sing.
I thought that because I used to tell people that was like a white version of Raising Kanan. I thought it was really done well, and it really brought back the '90s nostalgia. But I guess people weren't feeling it. It only lasted one season. I was shocked that that one was canceled, but then they let that other one rock. Like, the hell, who was in the boardroom? But
Not the blacks.
well, but yes, Bokeem Woodbine, honey, that's enough to get me coming back. I don't even care what the
Yes,
new season will be
because
about.
he is the better of the two. Because they say he's Chappelle's evil twin.
The whole time, Dave
He's
Chappelle
the
is the evil Bokeem Woodbine.
hello.
Well, that is that on that. And the last story I have for us today, Vanessa Williams. I'm actually happy to talk about this. So she's opening up about that infamous scandal with with them taking away her Miss America crown. And
Oh no.
you all should see I've just shared here by way of Radar Online. And it says Vanessa Williams opens up about betrayal decades after intimate photo release scandal ended her Miss America reign. Well, this starts. Vanessa Williams has opened up about the crushing betrayal she felt after intimate photos of her were secretly sold to Penthouse without her consent, igniting a scandal that ultimately cost her the Miss America crown, Radar Online can reveal. The Ugly Betty alum, who's 63, made history as the first Black woman to be crowned Miss America in 1983, only to be pressured into surrendering her crown less than a year later after the X rated magazine published the nudes taken while she was working as a receptionist for a photographer. I feel like now, I think people who hear that story will be like, I cannot believe that happened. Host Jesse Tyler Ferguson told Williams on the Tuesday, August 11th episode of his Dinners on Me. To put it in context, just plainly, Miss America was an ideal, and it was the exact opposite of nude pictures and a pristine image. That's why it was such a big deal, the former beauty queen explained. And also the betrayal and, like, selling the pictures behind my back without a release, timing it so, this was all going on when I became famous. She noted about how the photos taken in 1982 didn't surface until she was a household name after taking the iconic title. Williams lashed out at Dastardly Penthouse founder Bob Guccione for trying to help orchestrate the drama of it all, saying the notorious porn hustler was looking for the opportunity to bring down such an all-American institution with the photos. It's always money. It always comes down to money. How can I make the biggest bang? The Desperate Housewives alum fumed. And of course, Penthouse made a slew of money on all of it, Williams noted of the magazine's September 1984 issue featuring her spread. I was caught in the middle saying, okay, I did these as a teenager. No one's supposed to see them. There's no sign release. They shouldn't have been seen by anybody anyway. Williams explained about the photographs taken from her former boss, Tom Chiapel, who sold them to Penthouse. She continued, but the betrayal didn't mean a thing because that was the news, and that again, that news generates money. Noting that there was only 3 to 5 stations on TV at the time, and that the news cycle was so tight. Since Miss America had propelled the then 21-year-old to fame, losing the title was crushing. I didn't have a career, she said about that time of her life, but proving it to be a blessing as it gave me the I'm going to prove it. They have no idea who I am. Williams said she had many hurdles at the beginning as she fell into beauty pageants by happenstance. After winning, she shared it felt like being put in a box as a beauty queen. I was already fighting against that while I was Miss America because people assume that you're not smart. At the time Williams resigned her title, she only had 6 weeks left before the new winner would be crowned. She showed off the prove it in her by leading movie roles a few short years later, forging a successful R&B and pop music career, starring in Broadway musicals, and becoming a beloved longtime TV star. Mhm. Boy, I tell you, baby. Look, and I just imagine what she feels about someone like Kim Kardashian, right? Because baby, at a time that and of course, Kim was never a beauty queen, quote unquote, but at the time, like when this happened, and from I don't even remember what the pictures look like. I remember Googling them like when I was like some years back, but I don't even where let me see if they have them at their Google. I'm not gonna show them here, but Vanessa Williams penthouse photos. Because I'm trying to see like did you see any puss or
I don't remember. I remember they came out,
Well, in the 80s,
but I
it's
don't.
it was taboo just to even do that period.
Yeah,
Whether
I
it
don't
was
think she
just
was gapping it up open.
no, it wasn't raunchy, but it was just taboo. Period. Nowadays, I'd be like, "What? Oh, bye." Well, you see, the first lady, she
Well, I mean, I think it's still taboo for a person that's running for Miss America or whatever. If nude photos come out, they get stripped of their crown. I don't think that's changed, but yeah, I don't. I think they were tasteful nudes. They weren't, like OnlyFans kind of thing.
oh no, baby, I'm looking at some. They were older fans. I'm seeing
Oh,
pussy titties, honey. I was like, oh,
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 really?
oh yes, girl.
Oh,
Ooh, child.
I don't remember
you
those
mean
then.
like busted open
I mean,
or
busted open, jumping like she Grace Jones. Honey. Look, I'm gonna put the link in the chat so y'all can, baby. It's they she. Mm,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure they were not ready for that in the 80s, honey. No, no. Now the first couple of it was, tasteful, but honey, when you get down to I mean pussy is out, honey.
Oh, oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, at work.
But it's still not like a frontal, like, you know. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mhm. She wasn't playing in it, honey, but you can see it, but she won't play. So this could be seen as art. Now, once you start playing with it, that's born. Don't play if you don't touch yourself, it's considered art. But once you start touching it, mhm,
Hmm.
well, that is that on that, honey. Oh, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I wasn't expecting that.
I had
Vanessa,
never seen it, Auntie.
I
So
don't remember
now
those.
I have seen it. I've seen the girls twice. Oh, yay.
yeah, yeah, and who could say that? It's not every day that you get to see a legend's, vagina. So I'm, yay.
Look, you're not lying. You're not lying.
You stupid.
Shout out to her, hun. I love me some Vanessa Williams, and I just love how she is a generational talent because you see how the kids now are falling in love with her because of her TikTok content. They
Yeah,
love to see her.
yeah, they do.
Well, y'all, that was actually all the tea that I have for us today. So before we head out, I always like to ask my crew, did you all have any tea that you wanted to share or any tea that I might have missed? And I'm just scrolling through
I have nothing, babe. Nothing. Not today.
I'm scrolling through TikTok just to not TikTok, shit, through TMZ to see if there's anything worth reading or can we just save it to tomorrow? Like this Nick Reiner story, we can say Nick Reiner to tomorrow because it says he's indicted on new murder charges, such special circumstances added.
Yeah,
Good.
well, yeah. He did
Now,
it. We already know.
this one might be good. Some sports ball news on Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
He announced his NBA retirement with a Michael B. Jordan narrated video.
Oh, now
Let me go.
that's new. Oh,
Yeah, let me share
is
this
he
TMZ
retiring
article.
after this year?
Let's see. And this is a Instagram video, so I imagine it's not a long one. But let me share my screen and we can look at it together.
Every museum has a curator, and every exhibit, they have a story. But some stories don't need someone to tell them, they just speak for themselves. So tonight, I'm not going to tell you what any of this means. I'm just going to show you. And I'm going to ask him a few questions along the way, not because I expect an answer, but because some things deserve to be asked, even in silence. This one's from the inner city of South Central. Before any of it, before the triple doubles, before the MVP, before anybody outside of Los Angeles knew his name. Because why not? This was the next chapter. The Sonics made him the number 4 pick in 2008. No one in OKC could have told you what he'd become. And this is the one people point to, like it explains everything. It doesn't. Well, not really. Russ, what kept you going all those years? What made you get back up night after night when the whole league had a highlight reel of you falling down? Yeah, I figured that. You know, people forget.
Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who I was.
Before he was a walking headline, he was just a kid from inner city LA who could jump higher than anybody had a right to. Somewhere between the dunks and the draft classes, he became something else. Not just a player, a personality. A meme before we even called it that. A husband, a father, a guy in a kilt at the Met, daring anybody to say so. What did winning mean to you? I mean, really? No, not just the trophies. The actual feeling of it. Some things you don't say. You just play them over and over until everyone else understands too. Because why not? This swing isn't finished yet. That's not a mistake. We left it this way on purpose. Because whatever's next, the mentorship, the foundation, the kids who are going to grow up wanting to move just like he did, that part hasn't been built yet either. Were you ever afraid of what happens after the game stops needing you? This swing isn't finished. Neither is he. And that's the point. Last question. Now that you decided to step away from everything on your own terms, what are you the most proud of? That might be the best interview I've ever done. He didn't say a word. And somehow, I understood everything.
What?
Girl, that was
That's
so
what he's proud of, his meme.
I am like, I'm so lost. I'm sorry. What just happened? That was so extra. Well,
I
like,
hope the Oscar winning Michael B. Jordan got paid a pretty penny for that. Just saying. Anyways, he also needs to get into recording audiobooks because I definitely need several books read by him.
yeah, he
Appreciate
did
it.
that.
Well, I think his retirement was effective immediately.
Oh, we
Like,
don't
not
care.
no more seat. Okay.
All of that to say he done. Okay, boy.
That was so extra. I thought I was about to watch like a new Tubi movie or something. Like, girl, what
He
was that?
37. I know you fucking lying.
Let him have his drama. Like Jesus,
Russell
y'all, calm
Westbrook,
down.
Russell Westbrook, 37 for real. I know you fucking lying.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
37. You
What is he
can't tell
yelling
me
for?
he ain't about 45, 46.
Oh,
That is him.
No, allegedly he's 37, and he
Allegedly. Hmm.
alleged, and he's quitting, honey. Use this
if he
whole
if he was older than that, we wouldn't know.
yeah.
He looks older than that. So I
Well,
listen, I don't know
well,
his business.
and that well, it is what it is. Everybody can't be smooth looking, I guess. I don't know.
Like, honey, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, honey. Look at this picture right here. That definitely look. That look like one of auntie, like look like auntie's age range in me and honey. That's what I. Like well, he don't look 37 at all. So he'd probably be one of the ones that slip through the cracks. Like, oh, you got an old soul.
And then look who's behind him, who's actually about to be 40 or already 40, one of the two. You can't compete where you don't compare.
Damn, why are y'all coming for him? Well, he ain't did that but just announced his retirement. God
The
damn.
announcement was unnecessary.
Yeah.
He should have did like what's the NFL guy who turned comedian? What's his name?
No, I don't
Damn.
know. Who is that?
He used to do all the damn, what's his name? I cannot think of his fucking name. He used to do the fat man content where he would have the
Oh.
hijack pants.
Oh.
Damn, what's
Well,
his
what about
name?
him? What about him?
He retired. He made a little piece of an announcement, and then he swiftly went away and started doing his content, his comedian content.
Everybody and some people they they do a little bit more. Let him have his goodbye how he want to. Damn.
That was a goodbye. He pre-recorded goodbye.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because that to me that
I
feels
don't know
like
what the
so I might be
animosity is, but okay.
to me that came off as I'm not gonna be doing basketball no more, but y'all still will be seeing me. So
And we don't want it.
Okay.
oh, apologies to the chat. So I guess somebody was working when we were talking about Vanessa Williams photos and they ended up clicking the link. They were like, oh my God, what is this link?
Oh, where the link at? Wait.
in,
Hold on. What's in the link?
in the chat,
Her
Vanessa Williams
nude photo.
Cuda Kitty.
I don't want to see that.
I think the announcement was nice. It shows he's planning on working with the kids after he retires. I mean, I don't have a problem with him doing that. He had a long career and he
And
felt
he's
like he
a
wanted to put a special period at the end. I thought it was cute.
yeah, I mean he's a well-known NBA basketball player. Like
Yeah, I
I
like
don't know what y'all is tripping off of. Like I don't
All I
know.
know him for real is his meme slash grip. What?
Okay, so that's just you. You're not a sports person, but the rest of us do.
it. I
Yeah,
liked it.
I was like, damn, did he like kick your dog or something? Like, what the hell?
I thought it was very original.
Yeah. Mm.
Hush. Hush.
Look, I'm like that Beyonce meme. Yay, sports balls with my hands
Hello,
up.
them two hands up with the sunglasses.
Or y'all could have been. I mean, y'all could have just sat there and not said nothing. It's okay if you didn't understand it. It's all right.
Listen, I said I like Michael B. Jordan's voice. It was an immaculate job. I
Yeah,
need
that
him
was
to get
cute.
into audiobooks.
And I usually don't really see it for him, hun. And I think that something just came out that said that he was initially reports came out that he was dating Ray, but I think they just came out saying no, they're not
Yeah, they're not
dating.
friends, and they just friends, and I'm so glad because God, Lord, no, I did not see it for that at all. Don't
Yeah.
even start that rumor. It's a
I
lie.
actually believed the honey because she looked like his son.
Yeah,
They did share a kiss though. I don't. You sure
share
they not
the kiss
dating
where they saw share the kiss at.
when they were in that roller coaster?
I ain't see no kiss. All I saw the picture of them riding together.
It might have been AI. I mean, I saw it.
But she's working on the soundtrack to the movie he's putting out next year.
Oh well, you know, every time they see somebody together, you know.
Correct. But I don't see it for them. Don't let that be false all the way around.
Yeah, based off of because I just Googled, it says, 'cause, here's the TMZ article. She's pretty much saying that, they were on a work project together or something like that, and they have never been on a date.
So they
So
just was at the just enjoying themselves.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, work.
good for them.
Yeah. Well, okay, so for real this time, that was all the tea that I had for us. So I just wanna double check. Did anybody have anything before we headed out?
9.
Yeah, we can get.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to the chat. Thank you for you, the listeners, for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another live show if you can make it. And don't forget to subscribe to a bitch. Head over to auntiederik.com, hit that big green subscribe button at the top left, and join my free mailing list, and you'll get your nice hugs in your inbox daily. I sent the nice one showing a tribute to the it's IBM PC Day. So showing tribute back to the original desktop computer that was placed in everybody's homes in 1981. Oh, what a time. But until tomorrow, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Cheers.